All right, welcome aboard, guys. Today we're doing a nice comparison. Now, how accurate it is, I don't know. I didn't track down the truck and check the year, but it appeared to be around this time frame. Of course, it was in the dark, so who knows? Anyway, 1980 Chevy C10 as opposed to Silverado, I'm not sure. But anyway, 7.1 miles per gallon. 7. A 20-gallon tank. That doesn't sound right, does it? But I do remember that some trucks, there was an option to add a second tank that was almost as big as the first one. So, I don't know. But remember, this is not a completely accurate comparison. I mean, if this guy knows who he is and he stands up and says, "Oh, this is my truck and here's what I get," well, but okay, fine, I'll listen. But chances are he's not going to track it down, right? All right, so our compare trip, it's a trip to the YMCA, right? 56 miles, we used 11 kilowatt hours. Our cost of energy to cover that whole 56 miles was $1.21. Okay. I'm sure you're getting a feel for where we're going. Anyway, it's about 5.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Wait, I didn't even think about it that way. Right, so at my house, a kilowatt hour, 11 cents. I can go 5 miles on 11 cents. Okay, whatever. Today's regular unleaded cost is $2.60. Trip cost in terms of gas price, 46%. Okay, now that I've alluded to it, cost of energy range, right? This guy gets 7.1 miles per gallon. The equivalent, if you took the cost that I paid to make the drive with electricity, the equivalent cost is about 46% of a gallon. Okay, so as it works out, 7.1 times 46%, 3 miles. 3 miles. Holy cow. I think that's basically, you can make it maybe to Lago Vista High School from my house. I don't, I get if you like the rumble, if you like the noise, yeah, it's fun to drive, but you're not going to drive this very far, are you? Okay. And I'll admit, maybe he gets 13 miles or 14 miles per gallon. Maybe. That'd be astounding for that era, but okay. Range comparison. Now, to be fair, this guy can go 56 miles. Okay? 56 miles divided by 7.1, which is his MPG, 7.8 gallons. Yes, sirree, Bob. And 7.8 times 260. Remember, 260 in some ways is a relatively low price at the moment. $20.28. Just to go to the YMCA and back is 20-something dollars. Holy cow. That's crazy to me. Okay, but let's be fair in the comparison, right? So if you gave me $20.28 to buy energy at 11 cents, I would get 184 kilowatt hours. You give me 184 kilowatt hours, I'm going 920 miles. Yeah. Now, I get it. Oh, but I feel better to feel that rumble. Even this guy, who was so impressed with, "Oh, I can do this," once we got bogged down in the Palmer Lane traffic, which happens kind of after 620 going northwest, he's not rumbling anymore either. In fact, people are passing him because he's going slow. Okay? But there's not really much choice. The traffic in front of us is going slow as well. But there you go. I don't know. Okay, so let's see if I got this right. That looks right. Wow, he couldn't make that trip. I mean, he'd have a hard time. All right, so full tank range. Okay, can he cover how far can he go in a full tank, right? 20 times 7.1, 142 miles. 142. That means if I drove this truck from here to Brownsville, I'd be stopping twice to put gas in it. Holy cow. Right? I mean, with my cars, it was like, well, I don't really have quite enough to make the whole trip, so let's split it in half. Right? You couldn't even do that. Okay, full tank, 52 bucks. You take that 52 divided by 0.11, I get 472 kilowatt hours. 445 times 5 is 2,225 miles. That's more or less 2 months of driving for me. Right? Yeah. 2 months of driving. This guy is, what, making it in Austin twice or something like that? No, it's 142 miles. Okay, 3 days out of the month, he can drive this car into Austin and back from my house. For the rest of the month, he can't drive anymore. He's out of energy. Right? And I can keep driving a whole month. Actually, 2,000 is more like 2 months. What? There's a deer photobombing me. Okay, whatever. Car cost. Now, car cost is going to be kind of weird, right? So if you want to buy a truck that's more or less in new condition, you're going to pay for it. So the ones I found were around 19,000. But let's be fair. I mean, I found some trucks that were 10,000 or sold for 10,000. I mean, they weren't around long. At least that's my impression. But I mean, if you really were buying a 1980 Chevy C10, you're probably buying an older truck. And then you have to restore it to some extent to make it reliable. Right? The cost is not there. Okay. Anyway, peace and harmony. Okay, so this is the place I would talk about safety, crash test safety. Well, this is 1980. They didn't really do that kind of stuff back then, right? They didn't. In fact, I'm kind of wondering, 1980. No, it should have a 3-point seatbelt. Okay, well, I have a 3-point seatbelt, and I'm thinking that at around this time, the gas tanks were mounted on between the frame rails, as opposed to behind the driver's seat. Right? It used to be a thing. They put the gas tank behind the driver's seat. And I think they've proven that gasoline fumes can cause cancer or something like that. So, yeah, this is not good. This is not a good truck safety-wise. But anyway, peace and harmony. All right, so let's wrap it up. If you're a person who bought this truck or has this truck, you probably have for more personal, emotional reasons, right? You don't have it for efficiency. You don't have it for safety, but you have some connection to the truck and you want to keep it. And I get it. If I came across a 68 or 69 C10, I'd be tempted to buy it if the price was right. But I'm not really mechanically oriented, so it'd be a huge financial burden to restore it to a reasonable shape. But that's the reason why I would go into it. It's just I have a personal attachment. I mean, my father had that 68 Chevy C10. I love that truck. Right? But anyway, peace and don't take this so much as we're attacking you. It's just let's admit what we're into here. Okay?